Hello fantasy managers, and welcome to another video from myself, Will, and fantasyfootballhub.co.uk. We've got a lot to go over this week. We're going to be looking at Chelsea assets. Who should we be targeting? Is Hazard worth the risk? Should we be selling Mo Salah? We're going to be looking at my team, my transfer strategies, my chip strategies as well, and why I've switched chip strategy. Also looking at key players to target in the upcoming blanks and doubles, and a lot more. Let's get to it. So I realised it's a few weeks since I had one of these videos. I did do a video specialising in blank and double game week chip strategies. If you missed that, I'll put a link in the description. But it's a couple of weeks since I did a video like this. So how have I done? I've done okay. Last game week was a bad one, the one at the weekend. But the one midweek was good. Racked up 72 points. My transfers in were Trent Alexander-Arnold and Rondon. Rondon not doing the business, but Alexander-Arnold coming up with a massive 18-point haul. So really happy with that. Racked up 72 points into the top 3,000 for the first time this season. So going in the right direction. Pretty happy with my team. I've taken a couple of hits over the last couple of weeks to rejig my team and change my chip strategy. So it's a bit of a gamble, but I think I'm well set up for the upcoming blanks and doubles. I'll come to those a bit later on. But before we do, I'm going to have a look at some community questions. So to kick things off, we've got some questions on Chelsea. Which Chelsea players should we be considering, and is Hazard worth the risk? Well, there's, if you don't know, Chelsea have a really good run of fixtures, probably the best run of fixtures out there. They've play in 31, they probably got a double in game week 32, and they play in game week 33. So if you don't have many of your chips left, or you don't have your wild card or your free hit, or you're struggling with in the chip situation, Chelsea are the team to go for, because they play a lot of matches coming up and they've got good fixtures. There's a bit of an issue with Sarri, what's going on there, the issue with the goalkeeper. His style of play isn't really clicking with the players, and there seems to be a little bit of unrest. But having said that, they did put a good performance in for the Carabao Cup final. I know they lost that, and of course they beat Spurs last night. So I'm recording this on Thursday. So they beat Spurs last night with a 2-0 win. So they've obviously still got a little bit about them, and they've got a nice run of fixtures. Players who I would be targeting are, well, the standout is Hazard. He's the main man there on penalties. His underlying numbers are good. He is a frustrating player to own. He'll blank like 5 games in a row and then come up with a monster haul. So just about being patient with him, and if he does blank a couple of times, don't go removing him. So he's the prime asset that I'm looking to bring in. But otherwise, Higuain is a great shout. I might be going Higuain. It sort of depends on my team structure a little bit, but I think a Hazard is the one to own there. Higuain's a second, and then potentially looking at one of their defenders. David Luiz is probably my pick from the defenders. Okay, moving on to the next question from Mr. Guna. Should we sell Salah? Well, the short answer is no. I mean, look, he's been on a few blanks. He doesn't look that great. He has lost a bit of form, but well, I can tell from my history, the last time I sold Salah, he wasn't looking that good, and he went and got a hat-trick. So he is capable of turning it around. Liverpool have a great run of fixtures. They play in both the blanks. He's in a team that's going for the title. They're going to be scoring goals. He's going to be a big part of that. He's on penalties. I know he's expensive, but Mane, he's a good shout as well. If you go for the double up, I would recommend that. I've gone for the double up in defence in Trent and Robertson. I'm very happy with that. And to be honest, if I was going to pick 3 Liverpool players now, they probably would be the 3 that I currently own, even though Mane is producing. And I do like Mane as an option, but you can only fit 3 of them in. So in short, no, I wouldn't be selling Salah. Don't think he will come good, and just got to be a little bit patient with him. So a question from our new Slack forum, a really good forum, which I've only just released yesterday. It's for Hub members, and I'll explain a little bit more about that later, but it's already really active, really good chats going on. And a question there, key player for 31 and 33, ones we should be missing out on. Well, I've already mentioned the Liverpool guys and the Chelsea guys. Those are the players that you should be targeting. But from the more budget end of the scale, players I'm looking at are from Newcastle got a good fixtures. You got the likes of Shaw, obviously scored that screamer, but he's been having a lot of good shots. Newcastle keeping the clean sheets as well. Almiron, the new Newcastle signing, he looks like a really good option. Good underlying numbers. Hasn't scored many FPL points just yet, but looking really strong. Passing the eye test, getting the underlying numbers. Newcastle got the fixtures, so I think if you're looking for a punt, then I'll go for him in midfield. Rondon's the other one, the guy I brought in last week. Didn't bring many points this week, but he's got good underlying numbers, and is a good cheap forward option. Then you got from Bournemouth the likes of King and Fraser. King scoring this week, another good budget option. So lots of good budget options out there, including Barnes from Burnley. He was another one that I'm targeting, and I'll probably bring him in for the blank game week. Then you got players from West Ham. So we've got the likes of Anderson. I know he's blank last week and quite a frustrating player to own, but West Ham obviously have Huddersfield at home in game week 31. So really nice fixture. Also, Arnautovic is looking strong. There are so many good budget buys at the moment, but Arnautovic is another really strong one. He came on, he's recovering from an injury, so that is a slightly worry, especially when you're going to be counting every player in blank game week 31. But he's got the potential to explode. He really is the wild card. So high risk, high reward. Go for Arnautovic. Okay, so moving on to captaincy, it's a really tough one this week. We've got Aguero playing Bournemouth away. Got Salah playing Everton away, and Pogba playing Southampton at home. Those are the three players I've got in my team, and I've got a choice between all three. It's tough, really. At the moment, I'm leaning towards Aguero. He served me well, but I've really got to wait on the Jesus news whether I'll go with him. If he looks like he's out, then Aguero becomes a much stronger option. Pogba's got a great fixture against Southampton. And he is a strong shout as well. And there are other good options like Sterling if you want to go for a City option. I'd probably say actually Sterling is one of the strongest captaincy options this week if you do own him, and actually probably one of the strongest players over the next couple of game weeks. And that is the disadvantage of playing your free hit in game week 32 is that you probably won't be looking to bring in the likes of Sterling. So he's one player that I want, but I'm not going to get in, and that could hurt me. But I'm leaning towards Aguero at the moment, but just wait on the pressers, and it's probably going to be quite a last-minute decision. So this is my team going into next game. We've got a double up on the Wolves defence. Let me down last week, although I did bench Johnny, so it wasn't too bad. But Cardiff at home, I'm just going to back them one last time. After this game week, I'm probably going to be getting rid of all my Bournemouth assets because they go on a really bad run of fixtures. Don't play in blank game week 31. Don't play in blank game week 33. So, it's one of those where I hope that they produce this week, but then I'm going to say thanks for the points and goodbye. Obviously got the double up in Liverpool defence, which started with last week, and it's already coming good for me. So happy to go with that. A bit of a derby, so I wouldn't be surprised if Liverpool conceded. But, I think that they're going to be a good shout long term. Edison at the back and might play Fabianski. I'm not sure yet. That's going to be a last minute call. Otherwise, Pogba will be my vice captain. Son, Salah. I'm pretty happy with my team this week. I'm benching Pereira against Watford, so I've got a fairly strong bench. I'm benching Richarlison as well. I'm probably not going to make a transfer this week. I think if I did, it would be Richarlison to Maddison, but I'm quite happy with my team, so I'm likely just to keep Richarlison. He's clinging on to his spot in my team, and you know what, he might even survive to game week 31 at this rate, but I probably will ditch him for Maddison. It may be this week, but more likely next week because I'm fairly happy with my starting 11. So just having a very quick look at double game week and blank strategies. I've got a video on this, as I said earlier, so it's from last week, but it's still very relevant. I recommend you give that a watch. I have switched though, so I'm now going for probably the main line which most top players are going for, which is a free hit in game week 32. So I'm building my team up for game week 31, hoping to get 9, possibly 10 players out with a hit. And I think that will be enough to have a decent game week. That game week, then a free hit game week 32, and my game week 31 team will boomerang back in. So this is Ben's planner. Lots, you can see the transfers that I'm looking to make and when the players are moving in. It's really, really good plan. I highly recommend it. Obviously free to hub members, so I'll put a link in that in the description. But this thing is genius. It's just a really good way of visualizing your team. And Ben inputs your team for you, so it's very, very simple to use. And yeah, I'd highly recommend that. Okay, so we've just launched a Slack channel. So what is Slack and why should you be interested in using it? So if you are a hub member, this is a members Slack channel. So completely free, just another members feature. And it's just a really slick, modern, robust forum, which is really, really good on mobiles, which I think is a big thing, because I know most of you guys are accessing this stuff on mobile. So really, really good way of interacting. I only launched it last night and we got over 70 people chatting loads in about FPL already. So if you do play FPL and you like to chat about it, I'd highly, highly recommend our Slack group. Put a link into the description. Okay, that's it for me this week. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. It does help the channel out. But otherwise, I hope you have a good game week and I'll see you on the other side. Bye for now.